And as such, one of the better, as Michelle mentioned, that people like to go surfing there a lot. But one of the more interesting things that you can do is go ziplining over a volcano. They have, all along the western coast of Nicaragua is a chain of 13 different volcanoes. And this is just a representation of one of them that we have in PowerPoint side as well. There's, the one I've been to is Volcán Masaya. And you can either take a tour bus all the way to the top of it, or you can take the long way and walk yourself, but it gets, the air gets a lot denser and a lot heavier as you keep going up, and it might be, you can't stay there for too long a time because it starts to affect you and you get really dizzy and really lightheaded really quickly. But it is one of the more interesting things that you can do in all of Nicaragua. And another aspect that they let you do is go water skiing or swimming in the craters created by the volcanoes. And it's known to tourists as one of the more interesting aspects that they've been to. David now?
I'm going to talk about what Nicaragua is known as los barrios, or next one, please. Yeah, which is the dark side of Nicaragua, which is composed of barrios. Barrios are really what they're known as neighborhoods. And as you can see, most of the neighborhoods there are pretty much poor because of the government. The government is pretty much corrupt. Nicaragua has been known for usually the beauty of nature, but unfortunately there's a lot of pollution. People are usually they were used to bathing in the water and lakes and showering, but also they have experienced lack of electricity, and most of the time the power goes out, and they know that. If it doesn't go out at night, it goes out in the day. So pretty much that has to do because of the government, that they've gotten worse and worse throughout time. Now I'm going to present to you Francis.
So comment a little bit, what are we looking at here? So the housing.
Basically, some of the small shacks, and the PowerPoint we have up there, it's actual representation. It's really small, but they're little shacks built by people with whatever materials one finds, like wood, scrap metal, things like that, to make. That's where people, a great population of Nicaragua live in houses like that. And the one we try to build in Second Life is a little different, but try to represent as much as possible. Next one.
And you have food on sale?
Well, those are just little markets you see all over Central America and Mexico. It's what the people living in Nicaragua, Honduras, it's basically what they sell, which is maize, beans, their typical crops. But no, you can pass. That's the surfing side. The last one, I'm representing basically another bad part of Central America. We started off that one. We started off with the basic, we started off with the great things in Central America, the one sees typically by visiting, which is surfing. Another attraction, of course, is the Mayan site. Another thing is the zip lining in the rainforest. It's very typical. I've done it myself. It's great. Another dark side are the gangs that originally started from El Salvador, actually. The refugees leaving Central America going to the United States. They started in Los Angeles. One of the biggest gangs right now in the United States, actually is known to the FBI as the most dangerous gang in the United States, is MS-13, which originated from, like I said, El Salvador. But I'm sure you guys have all heard of Che Guevara. Have you? I'm sure living in the United States, you've heard of the Che Guevara. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for Latin Americans, we do know the bad and the good of Che. Most people that aren't Latin American only see Che as a good rebellious lefty movement, but it wasn't like that for people living in Latin America. And basically, the leftist movement in a lot of the countries in Central America went bad. So they started off good with good intentions, but some of the guerrilleros went a little overboard, and a lot of killings and a lot of basically civil wars throughout all over Central America. But so this gang took the leftist movement to the bad and populated a lot of North America, United States, and we're actually affected currently not only here in the United States because of the gangs and the killings, but the people that get deported from the United States back to their native countries, whether it's Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, the crime goes up once again in those countries, and they affect tourist sites like beaches, surfing locations. You see graffiti and all over the walls with MS-13 and saying locals only. So it's kind of a distracting thing for tourists that visit this great country to see the beauty of it. But that's basically it. We try to basically incorporate the beauty and the negative side, and hopefully educate a lot of people. If you ever visit one of these countries, be aware of the dangers and also the beauty of everything you see.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask us about the gang, about volcanoes, zip lining, surfing, tourism? MS-13. Mara Salvatrucha. She's heard of it. Yep. The FBI started their own. Yeah. The FBI actually started their own task force against MS-13 beyond the one they already have, specifically for MS-13.
Any questions?
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Just a little tip, people. Try to keep the two scenes coordinated. When you're showing slides about the tourism, make the tourism. If you go over to the gangs, somehow keep the focus in Second Life into the sinister part. Don't take us to the beach while you're talking to the gang. Next we have Colombo.